Magnificent 7 Walk, Mag 7 Walk. Reminder, as a citizen of a free country, it is your right and duty first to question your government, then to act as you believe right to protect your family and your nation. For reasons that will become obvious, every video I now make may be the last. Download them, protect them, at the very least download the PDF. What you do after that will be up to you. We have in other videos seen how from the very beginning and continuing now the government has lied about the risk of the virus, exaggeration to massive risk versus slight risk, and done the opposite of what should have been done. Massive control and damage versus e.g. Knut Wittkowski's recommendations. As a reminder, search for Knut Wittkowski on YouTube and his perspectives on the pandemic episode 2. In a nutshell, he says, isolate your OAPs for 4 weeks to protect them from pneumonia. Keep your children in school to spread the virus. Go about your life. That's it. We have, in the Marshall scam, explored why the government would want to do the exact opposite, manufacturing a crisis with expensive medical measures, expensive damage to the economy, lockdown, and expensive recovery post-lockdown, bailout. The key word, of course, is expensive, and notice how the propaganda machine has already said money isn't important, so that people will shrug when the very expensive actions of the government need to be paid for. NHS debt forgiveness. Money doesn't matter when lives are at stake. It's so reasonable, isn't it? So let's just do one simple example. Money doesn't matter when lives are at stake. So you will give all your money, you can keep $1,000, when your child, parent, wife, husband, partner falls ill. From anything. It's necessary. Save lives, give us all your money. Absurd? Sure. But people can't see past save lives. Money doesn't matter when lives are at stake, so we're raising taxes to recover from the crisis. Money doesn't matter when lives are at stake, so we're instituting a program of vaccines and testing for all citizens, which will require a 1 billion new tracking centre for virus prevention. Once you've disconnected their brains, you can say anything. You've seen that the government virus meme is invent an absurd number, 530,000 deaths, back it up with a fraudulent report, 510,000, to get us into our homes, denying us our livelihoods, devastating the economy, and going off on a false crusade for testing, vaccines, chipping, more lockdown. You've seen that one possible motivator is the very simple one. Yes, we will need a massive amount of money. Yes, someone will lend it to us. Yes, someone will receive a massive amount of interest. That's not conjecture, that's a statement of fact. Unless the government waves a magic wand and no money is required. Marvellous. Let's see what happens. But having experienced my first trivial lobster in the pot warming, coerced medical intervention, I'm not inclined to wait for a further intervention. Not when the government says no lifting of lockdown yet. We're not done yet. Not the virus. We aren't done with you. Freudian slip or simple truth? So people are asking, what can we do? I know what I'd like to do. Have hundreds of millions of Americans, Britons and Canadians walk to their capitals and remove every politician and uniformed official who has imposed this on us based on a lie, shut down our lives, our economies, and all it seems for that age-old motivator, greed. Recognizing that we can't anticipate that on day one, I'd love it if Americans, Britons and Canadians marched in their thousands to their town halls and removed everyone in offices there, defrocked them and everyone in uniform who has imposed this on you. But I recognize we can't anticipate that that will happen either. So here's my suggestion. Pick a number, 7 or 13. It has to be one of those. Now double it, 14 or 26, and yes, it has to be one of those. And because I cannot ask you to do, or suggest you do, something that I myself will not do, here's what I'm going to do. Here's my invitation. If you live in Kent, UK, and would like to go for a walk holding hands, then please get in touch with me. That's it. No mass protest, no having to organise. When I have 14 positive replies, I will expect half to fail to show up, leaving us 7. If I receive 26 positive replies, I will expect half to fail to show up, leaving us 13. If at least 7 show up, we'll go for a walk in maybe Maidstone, holding hands. That's it. It freed India, according to the film Gandhi, but hey, that's Hollywood. Who knows the real story? What happens if we do that, and that invitation is now real, effective immediately, and yes, it scares the out of me. But what can I do? 400 million people versus my fear. It's not even a question. 3 or 5 is too few. It has to be 7 at least, and 13 is even better, if the street is wide enough. Do not walk with less than 7. Then you're irresponsible individuals. Even if the whole country walked in 1s and 2s, they would submit, apologise and still win. Still be in power. Only by making this about the people against the tyranny of their control and agenda can we win. And even then it is the slightest chance for a seismic change. So if you believe or are spiritual, you had better hope Gott mit uns. It didn't work for the Germans, fortunately. It might not work for us. But if we don't try, they win. It's a photo op. You know the movie posters. Every week, Law and Order, NCIS, the Band of Brothers, walking to the camera. Decide, and what's the worst that can happen? Fines, prison, death. And what's likely to happen if it happens again and again in every town in America, in Britain, in Canada? And soon, what if it's not 7 or 13, but 100, 1,000, 10,000? Will they arrest 100, 1,000, 10,000? And when they don't arrest 1,000, we arrest them and free one town. And then they don't arrest 1,000, and we free another town. And then they don't arrest 10,000, 100,000, and we free a city. And when they don't arrest 1 million, we free a state. And when they don't arrest 10 million, we free a nation. And we do not accept an apology for attempting to destroy democracy and our lives. We do not accept assurances that mistakes were made, that the guilty have been punished. Their politicians, their media, their courts, their police, their authority was imposed on us by every organ at their disposal. Every such organ has been revealed to be the enemy of democracy. Every such organ needs to be stripped and sanitized as they'd like to do to us. And when we're done, we ask, who put you up to this? Who suggested to Imperial College to doctor their report? Who suggested to Boris Johnson to stand up and lie? Who is behind the generous offer of temporarily lending us the money that will earn them billions? We'd like to know. Because until we know who they are, they will continue to have the funds and resources, and they will recover, and they will do it again. They have overreached like Hitler and Napoleon in Russia. Now it's our turn. Many will say, oh, but look, the nice man who was saving us is gone now. It's okay, honestly, you're overreacting, don't worry. It's just an emotional issue you have. They can help you, they're very nice. Or they'll shrug and not care, it'll be over soon, and it will. Big Pharma will have its big win. The bankers will have their bailout loans. Someone will have a massive loan on their books, paying them massive interest. And the people will shrug and go back to their daily lives. So as of now, decide which of these 3 categories you fall into. 1. They lied, they disabled democracy and have damaged society and are still lying and will continue to lie until we call them on it, at which point an apology doesn't cut it. 2. They might have got it wrong, but you know your curves could be wrong and they never said 530,000 people would die, And they corrected it once we were all in our homes, so don't you think you're overreacting? Or 3, who cares? You don't get it, do you? It's about saving lives, and anyway, it'll be over soon. You conspiracy theory people are the worst. How dare you accuse the government? People are dying. Doctors and nurses are falling like flies. You should be in prison. Well, no doubt we soon will be, likely enough. No choice really, is there? Not for me. I don't want to do it. It scares me silly. But if I don't stand, I'm relying on someone else to save me, and that puts me with the sheeple. Is that how I want to remember myself? That when it came down to it, I was a sheep and backed down? So as of now, if you're a 1, you get it, see what they've done, abhor it and want to change it, shut their scam down and restore democracy and truly restore it, then yes, we keep talking. If you're a 2, you think I'm overreacting, haven't interpreted the data, better studies need to be made, whatever it takes to not acknowledge the threat to our peoples and our nations, goodbye. You're now a distraction. And if you're a 3, you conspiracy theorists are irresponsible and dangerous, our government loves us, why can't you get that? Are you stupid? Well, yeah, not much time for that now either. I never dreamed it would or could come to this moment. I wanted people to get a sensible, balanced perspective after the nonsense and hype peddled by the government. But they wouldn't stop, and so I can't stop. They won't back down, and so I can't back down. They are the entire nation's infrastructure. They are everyone, and they are everywhere. Familiar? We are and will remain unarmed. No Second Amendment bullshit. If you arm yourself, you are not with us, you are against us. We do this the right way, God's way, the way of peace, unarmed. Spartacus or Christ, the IRA or Gandhi, 30 years of metaphysics and you think I need a gun. We walk, they lose. You walk away, they win. It's as simple as that. Decide. If you will walk with me in Kent, UK, hand in hand, down a high street, email me at andrew@peerlessreads.com.